Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to the party.
Oh,
We have fired Davo. This is your
I was
captain
having
speaking.
technical difficulty. Sorry.
Mhm. It's all good.
Cue ball, where you at? Where you at?
Welcome
Hello,
to Down
everyone.
and Outs, people. How are we?
Right.
Doing
I'm
good?
all right.
Okay. A
Getting
lot
through
of stuff happened this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So much
A
so
lot.
we had to do an impromptu emergency meeting tonight.
True.
And we decided to hit the record button. So we're going to give you guys some good
Well,
content.
we hit the record button, and then my computer was like, no, wait. Don't have a clear path to record.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, we got a lot to get to. Let's dive in. We're actually going to talk football today, believe it or not. NFL free agency. High
News.
gear this week.
Long time coming.
It has been absolutely nuts. My phone has been blowing up with alerts. This person signs, that person signs. It's a lot of fun. It's fun right now. Getting ready for the draft. Big thing. I should have put on my Steelers jersey. I totally forgot. But we got to talk about
Yeah, I
it, boys.
forgot my hat too.
This Pittsburgh Steelers team who made the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, with Mitchell Trubisky, with Kenny Smallhands Pickett, all at the helm, made the playoffs, and now going into next year, they will have a QB competition between former Super Bowl champ Russell Wilson, who they got on a 1-year, very, very, very team-friendly deal.
Bargain bin
Suck it,
deal.
Denver. And as of today, just traded for Justin Fields. Q-Ball, I'm going to get your reaction first before I absolutely go Christmas morning on this, but what was your initial thought when you got those two alerts this week?
Honestly, when I got the Russell Wilson one, I knew it was going to happen. I wasn't, because he met them. I guess he had a really good meeting there, which was great. I knew he was going to go there regardless. But Justin Fields one, I was shocked by. I didn't think we were going to actually do it. And then I was more bummed out that we traded Pickett, but it is what it is. But a good quarterback competition. Even Russell Wilson tweeted it out, let's get it. And QB room about to be fired. So they're pumped. It's going to be some nice competition. I'm excited to see what they do. And they got some room to play. And imagine $4.2 million for both quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. And to put that in perspective, I think Mason Rudolph signed with the Texans for $3.8 million. So you're getting two starters last year for almost essentially the same cost as Mason Rudolph, who was your third string quarterback last year.
Rudolph signed with the Titans. Trubisky signed with the Bills and shipped Pickett to the Eagles.
Well, I mean, did you guys hear
Hurts,
what
buddy.
happened regarding after Russell Wilson was signed? I guess he requested the trade because he was upset about it, but he's going to Philadelphia and he's being a backup. There's no way he's going to come there and be the starter.
That's called.
That's what I was kind of like, hey, like I understand it, but learn behind
I mean,
him at that point.
I think. I mean, I it would have been the same, right? If say Justin Fields didn't happen, right?
But it did.
No, I understand that, but
well, I mean, I was even surprised that happened because it's like it came out of nowhere. I just assumed they were going to get one or the other, not both.
Well, they signed Russell Wilson. I mean, for us as fans and people that are overlooking all of this,
Get old bird, get out of the hood.
We know
Rise above it.
what we've seen from
Brother.
Russell Wilson outside Broncos tenure, tail end of the Seahawks. And we don't know what version of Russell Wilson we're going to get. He could be all amped up and ready to come to work, but he has to perform. So we still have to watch that. But we're paying him nothing. Broncos paying his salary for this next year.
And next year.
Kenny Pickett, if he would have not thought that way, he could have beat him out. No, it's just Pickett underperformed. So it's really his fault. And him getting shipped off is the reason why we have Justin Fields. So that's what I'm looking at on the overall perspective of this, which
Please
I like
reiterate that really quick. Hold on a second. Please reiterate that. Are you stating that Kenny Pickett had an opportunity to beat out Russell Wilson? Is that what you think?
I would. Well, I mean,
I think I don't think he was going.
An opportunity,
There's a better
yes.
chance of it snowing in hell than that happening. Kenny Pickett was not going to win the starting job.
Okay, Well, with that
And that's
thought process, hold on. With that thought process, him being on the Steelers still or getting shipped off the Eagles doesn't change anything. He's still a second string.
Yeah.
So,
So here's my take. I saw enough from Kenny Pickett to realize that he was a bust. And I was the biggest Kenny Pickett guy. I actually bought my daughter, I bought all my kids Steeler gear, and one of the jerseys was Kenny Pickett. So now I'm really regretting that. Now I got to go see if I can change the letters around, maybe spell Pickens. I don't know. But that's the first thing I'm frustrated about. Second thing is he quit. He quit. He didn't like that Russell Wilson came in. He didn't like that there was competition. He didn't like that the Steelers didn't think that, he was the answer. And he wanted out. So, later, dude. The Steelers...
Well, let me ask this. What about what the fans were saying that the Steelers as the organization ruined Pickett? They could have done a better job developing him, and that he should have been the starter.
Yeah, I think they obviously...
What do you say to those other fans, other fans as well?
Our offensive coordination, all of that was just junk. So
they didn't really give him a good opportunity to really show himself. But I will tell you, as a lifelong Steeler fan, the last 4 years, even we look at the last couple of years with Big Ben, very difficult to watch the quarterback play. We've gone through a lot of different quarterbacks. None of them have worked. It's been a stopgap. We were absolutely blessed having Roethlisberger for all the years that we did. We didn't have to worry about this. We knew who was going to be slinging the ball, and it was going to be 7. And since he's been gone, it's been very, very difficult. We've been pretty much in no man's zone when it comes to trying to figure out what our answer is for QB. This is why I'm excited. You bring in Russell Wilson, who just got cut. The Broncos are paying him $38 million to go play for another team. If I'm Russell Wilson, I'm trying to stick it to Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos this year. That's number one. I got a motivated former Super Bowl, should have 2 rings. Don't know why he didn't run the ball. But I got him there.
Stopped him.
Dude, that's a different podcast.
Moving on. Let's focus on your team. Go ahead.
And now you bring in Justin Fields, who is kind of in the same situation in a sense of he's been with the Bears, and the Bears haven't really given him a great platform to really kind of show what he's worth. Head coach, offensive coordinator, play calling, hasn't really been there. The line, he's pretty much been running for his life. You give him a chance to really reset right now. Russell Wilson's going to play this year. He's going to be the starter. He's going to go into the season QB1, and he's going to have every opportunity to do what he needs to do and show that he can be, Russ is still cooking and take the Steelers to the next level. But now you have an insurance policy in Justin Fields, who is a totally different game, and is 24 years old. This dude is basically...
he's 24?
A worse kind of Justin Fields. You're getting a very tame... I'm not comparing them because Lamar Jackson's better, but you're getting a Lamar Jackson type player. Very fast, can run the ball, can put up 100 yards rushing in a game. And you have an offensive play coordinator in Arthur Smith now, who just came from Atlanta, and it was an absolute train wreck. He's really trying to establish himself, go back to the ways of Tennessee, where he was just a play-action machine. You have 2 quarterbacks, so you can really get creative now. So the Steelers are set up this year with Russell Wilson. They have a great fallback if anything were to happen. Russell gets hurt. Russell decides to, be terrible. You have no problem benching him because you're paying him $1 million. And now you have Justin Fields to where you can have him sit behind Russell Wilson, learn from Russell Wilson, understand what it's like to be a vet in this league for 13, 14 years and to play quarterback, and then give him the keys either next year or the year after. And that potentially, if that works out, is your quarterback for the next 10 years because he's 24. It's a great move from the Steelers. You just upgraded. When you take all 3 quarterbacks that they had last year, you put them on any other team, they're probably not starting. Now you bring in 2 starters. Your quarterback position has literally flip-flopped in a matter of a week. You are deep. You are cheap.
In a good way.
Super good way. So you're
No, it's what
I saw a statistic with David. They have the Steelers right now have the most money invested on the defensive side of the ball in the entire league. They have the least amount of money on the offensive side. And a lot of that has to do with they have a lot of rookies, they've drafted well, but also this quarterback play. The Browns are paying almost $60 million for their quarterbacks, and the Steelers next year are going to be paying about $4 million.
Huge difference.
Which is crazy.
So now you can take all of that money, go get that Patrick Queen for the inside linebacker, go, fill out your cornerbacks, do all of that you got to do. And you're going to get, dude, come on. Russell Wilson last year, probably one of his worst years, 26 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions. And he was benched the last 2 games. The Steelers over the last 2 years don't even have that many touchdown passes. This is a huge upgrade, an absolute huge upgrade. And I think every Steeler fan should be doing cartwheels right now.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was saying is
2024 got better, and the future got better with Justin Fields.
Okay, so sorry, did everyone get their Steeler take? Is it my turn, or go ahead, David?
I just want to add one more thing.
You speak when you're spoken to, Blake.
I wanted to bring this up.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
I was talking to Daniel about this earlier, where Russell Wilson, when he was in Denver, he had no. He slang his stats up for that, but he had no protection. The Broncos didn't have.
Yep.
An offense, didn't have a defense.
His biggest issue, Russell Wilson's biggest issue, especially over the last couple of years, but throughout his career, he takes sacks. He takes sacks a lot. If he stays pressure or whatnot, he's just gonna fall. He's gonna drop, and that's a huge
Wilson?
concern. Yeah,
I don't think you tell that much. I'm being non-biased about it.
Sacks. He takes a lot of sacks. Okay. He was up there. He might have led the league, but he was up there.
Wow.
You put him behind a better offensive line. You give him arguably a better, running back situation, a better offensive coordinator, a defense that's going to get you the ball back, so you're going to have more opportunities, short of the field, all that stuff.
Well, you said that your team put more money in the defense as of now than offense, even when you include the quarterback
Russell
situation.
Wilson took 45 sacks.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, so
and he got benched the last 2 games too.
Yeah,
this is my take.
He's got to
we covered that. First off, I want to say that despite the most worst pain ever, I'm still representing my team. All right. I am very thankful that you picked my 49ers recently. And I want to be non-biased about it because, about this situation, I want your Steelers to win. I really do. And it's like, from a non-biased point of view, Wilson is bittersweet. I'd hate to admit it as a 49er because, I go forever about my team, but he did great in Seattle. Like, really great. You could probably Google how many playoff appearances he had. Just that right there. All right. And we won't get into the whole Super Bowl stuff. But that was at least 2 Super Bowl appearances and all that stuff. And he did phenomenal. And he completely tanked. He sunk like the Titanic in Denver. And I think you said Fields was 24, but I don't know what Wilson's age is. We looked that up real quick.
He's 35.
He's 35. So he's getting 35. There. He's getting up there. Okay. So thank you. And before I get into it, I understand that, certain teams can make a player better. We see it with Goff and Stafford with, screw LA and Detroit. And congrats Detroit on all their success, for real. I'm never going to I always got to bring that up. So it's like, you brought up a lot of great evidence that he can do great for Steelers. I get that. I just don't know if there's an unpredictable factor because, he did great in the beginning, then he tanked in another place. Is he still in his prime is my question to succeed in a new team? He could probably most definitely do better in Pittsburgh than Denver. I will say that. Like, he was an embarrassment in Denver. He went from the top, 2 or 3 teams in the NFC to the very bottom of the AFC, switching and not even, So I think my big question is and Daniel kind of answered it, how it helps, but you put all that money on the defense, you are hopeful for the offense to come through for you, excuse me, sorry. I just don't know if he's still can he get back to his prime self or even halfway there? Because he will do better in the Steelers than he did for the Broncos. I just don't know if he can do as great as he did on the Seahawks. That might be a stretch with his age. And the reason I bring this up is because, yes, we can go on about Wilson's stats. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk about him versus my team. He beat us like every single game except for one for like a decade? Like, it was embarrassing. But is he a quarterback? I think I brought up that one question earlier about how we adjust the team. But is he a quarterback that can get better with the age? Because when I think of quarterbacks that get better when they age, all I got is really your Bradshaw, my Montana, not my Steve Young, maybe Big Ben. He improved. And then you got Brady, who is an exception.
No, I disagree.
Can he really?
Big Ben.
I mean,
The older
tailing
Ben
off.
got, it's like he had
You
concrete.
tanked off? Okay. I'm going to include Big Ben. I'm not including Steve Young. And there's a bunch of other quarterbacks we can get into, but there's very few in the game. And maybe we just focus on the modern era and not ancient history.
It doesn't matter, though. Like, it doesn't matter because what did the Steelers have to lose? They didn't give up anything. They're giving him the vet minimum. If they get Russ of old, it's a lotto ticket. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty much honestly, it's like a wait and see what we're gonna get, to be honest with you.
If he sucks, you have the best backup in the league, and you give it to Justin Fields and you go red. And that's it. Plain and simple.
Okay. I agree
nothing to lose here.
I agree with half of that. Your case you stated earlier about Wilson and the Steelers makes a lot of sense. I think the Steelers are doing a great thing. When I think of Fields, I mean, come on. I mean, he just – if I were a Steeler, I've had more faith in Wilson than Fields. I'll tell you that straight up because he did almost nothing in Chicago. And out of nowhere, he'll have a few great games. We're like, whoa.
You know what? You can put Justin Fields. I would rather have Justin Fields as the quarterback and running every single play as a running back than putting Kenny Pickett out there. He is lethal with his legs. And now that's one more body that a defense has to do to cover
yeah,
that.
Blake, I mean, you haven't seen the stat just to help us. Aside from Lamar Jackson, he's the only quarterback in league history with more rushing yards in their first 3 seasons.
No. He really passed Kaepernick because he ran. Kaepernick ran.
First 3 seasons,
fell off in the end.
Lamar Jackson and then Justin Fields.
I can see Lamar Jackson being above Kaepernick, but Fields above Kaepernick?
This is how I see it. I feel like we're getting 2 quarterbacks that came from crappy teams, to be fair. Like, touching back on the Broncos' offensive and defensive woes.
Yeah, and the Bears suck. Like, let's be real.
The Broncos
a couple shining moments, and that's it.
Russell Wilson never had protection. Didn't have weapons. Same thing goes for the Bears. When have the Bears ever done anything real?
They have defense every now and then. Like, they can show up on defense. Well, no, there's a couple games.
They're junk. They're junk. 2 good quarterbacks are leaving junk teams to a brand new rebuilt Steelers team who have the potential for having an average offense, but our defense is stacked.
Right, that's what you keep bringing up, and that's great. You need to have great defense. I mean, let's be real. That's pretty much why. Never mind. I want to get into that last season, but your defense.
This team went 10-7 last year, and now they have a quarterback.
2.
We have 2.
Yeah, imagine we made the playoffs last year with quarterback.
The Bills.
We squeaked in.
We didn't necessarily get murdered by the Bills either. Like, you take a couple plays of Mason Rudolph, right, throwing that pick in the end zone, the turnovers early, right? You take those out of the equation, it's a relatively pretty close game in Buffalo. Steelers didn't just roll over. So, like, this is a very talented team, and they didn't have TJ Watt for that game. Let's not forget that. So, this is a very talented squad. Now you put a quarterback in that situation.
It's a lot of young upside.
That is a deadly team, and Mike Tomlin's the coach that can fix the Justin Fields, that can really get the best out of Russell Wilson. He's not going to yell at him like Sean Payton on the sidelines. So, this is a great move for the Steelers. We talked about the Bears, right? They gave Justin Fields over for a 6th-round pick. That is, somebody needs to call the police because that is highway robbery.
He got fleeced.
But I want to. It's not the first time they've been fleeced by the Steelers. I want to talk a little bit
Never the
about
last.
what they're going to do moving forward. Obviously, they got the first round pick. Do they go Caleb Williams out of USC? Does Caleb Williams not want to go to the Bears after seeing the whole Justin Fields saga? I know Washington is laying in the weeds at number 2. The Commanders got their kind of revamped offense, and obviously their offensive coordinator coming in. Cliff Kingsbury has some strong ties as the OC at USC with Caleb. What do you guys see the Bears doing with that first pick? Do you think they're going to go Caleb Williams? Do you think Caleb Williams is going to make it about him and try to push his way over to Washington? What would you guys do if you're the Bears right now?
I mean, I feel like the generic answer is they quarterback the biggest needs after shipping Fields off. I haven't really dug into the Caleb Williams saga with all of the extra stuff.
He is potentially, just to give you a background, he is being compared the best thing to come out of the draft since Aaron Rodgers out of Cal.
I
Take
think
that for what it is.
In short, I think the Bears will do everything to preserve the best pick for the draft. Unless that's already screwed over because of these deals that we're talking about with Pittsburgh. They could.
Can't deny
I don't know.
the team drafts you number 1. You can't go, nah.
If I'm the Bears,
Well, he might pull an Eli Manning thing.
yeah, that's what I'm
The
worried
thing with
about.
Caleb Williams is he's like his
Eli
father
Manning-
reached out to get ownership stake in teams, and it's like he's probably just going to think, hey, let me go to a team that's already in the playoff picture. But that's not necessarily going to be the case. I think the Bears are going to try to draft him. He's going to say no. They're going to try to toss the pick off to someone else. They don't want to deal with the drama, and then he just goes undrafted. But that's an entirely different episode. Deal with that.
There are 3 legit quarterbacks at the top of the draft boards that are going to go within the first 3-4 picks. New England needs a quarterback, Washington needs a quarterback, and Chicago needs a quarterback. So it really comes down to who's going to go where. Caleb Williams is number 1, but yeah, if he doesn't want to go to Chicago, he might hold out. If I'm the Bears, I don't want any of that. I'm going to go.
You can hold out. Do you pick?
I mean, you can throw a little fit.
Who's the toughest in the Bears division?
Because Eli
you
Manning
go to Washington, you got the Eagles
Detroit.
and maybe even the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Detroit ain't going nowhere.
Packers.
Yeah. Who do you want to pick for your number 1 enemy? Do you want to go up against Detroit? Do you want to go up against the Cowboys and the Eagles, or do you want to go up against Buffalo Bills? That kind of sums it up right there.
Yeah,
like what competition?
Washington. I mean, he's got ties, right? The OC there was the OC at USC, so he already knows him. He knows how to use them.
Oh, there you go.
They got all these weapons they've been signing, and I don't know, man. NFC usually at least 2 or 3 teams come out of it.
Okay.
So the Giants aren't doing anything anytime soon. So
Manning got drafted by the Chargers.
I think the Eagles could still be strong, but fall off soon. Detroit's not going anywhere. So if I were him, I think I'd go. Oh my God, brain freeze! Wow, Washington.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, Chicago's nice, guys. They just got Keenan Allen, they got DJ Moore, and they signed DeAndre Swift. So it's not like he doesn't have a lot of talent. He might be one of the best teams to go to as far as talent-wise to really do something with it. The problem is their line's not great, and that defense is terrible. They're not winning the division this year. So I can see why he doesn't want to go to Chicago. And look at Chicago's track record. The last 2 big quarterbacks they took, Mitchell Trubisky early, and they took Justin Fields early. And now look at him.
Sounds like the expectations are set too high. Expecting to join a team and make it to the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, he thinks he's going to come in there best of the best. That's just going to come out there and just fly, but he can end up like another Johnny Manziel.
He can ball. This guy can ball. I'm a huge UFC fan. I've been watching him for years. He's great. The problem is, can he keep his ego in check? And will it translate his play style? Would that translate well over to the NFL? We don't know. All these guys look great in college. NFL is a different ballgame.
Honestly, just take the honor of being the first pick and go to whatever team that picks you. Don't trade up. Go make the team better. I don't know.
Yeah. Go prove your point.
You got 3 choices. Not like you can go like all the playoff teams and the Super Bowl champions are all lower in the draft, right? They're all at the tail end. So I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, sorry that you're a first round pick and you're number 1. I mean, don't play as good if you don't want to be number 1. Like, I don't tell you.
Cue ball drafted hits. What happens?
Hello?
I'm sorry. One more time.
Draft day hits. Okay. Bears are on the clock. What are they doing?
They're going to pick Caleb Williams, and then he's going to throw a fit. Calling 100%.
I can't wait for the draft
Because
then.
he wants to go to a team to win. But he goes to the Bears, and imagine they make the playoffs. Imagine how good that's going to look on him. But
that's imagine.
I think he just
we
wants to go to a
can,
team.
we can
you
all
go to the
imagine.
Bears. Yeah. You go to the Bears, you're throwing as receivers, you're throwing to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Are you kidding me? That's as good as it gets. And I got Swift in the back end. That's perfect. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. It does get cold in Chicago.
I don't think. No, give it a couple years. Let the team develop.
Is Chicago getting a new stadium? I was wondering if Chicago's getting a new stadium, if that would affect
I think they were trying to.
the trade.
But Soldier Field's like Yankee Stadium.
You got to see how he performs in the NFL, and then you have to build a team around him after you age his.
Yeah, but you might take him and miss out on another quarterback because this draft was so deep, and then what do? Then you trade him for a 6th-round pick to the Steelers in 4 years.
Exactly.
So we'll see. We'll see. The other big news, obviously, guys, is running backs. That is the draft. I think a lot has to do with it. The draft's really weak when it comes to running backs. Stacked on quarterbacks, really stacked with receiving talent, but not really the running back side of things. And I think that's what a lot had to do with the whole free agent market. We look at all the new running backs in different situations. Listen to this list, guys. Saquon Barkley goes from the Giants after all those years to the rival Philadelphia Eagles. You got Derrick Henry, Mr. Titan for all those years, now moving over to Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. You got Josh Jacobs leaving Vegas to go to Green Bay. Once that happened, Green Bay kicked Aaron Jones to the curb, so loyalty don't mean crap in the NFL. And then he joins the rival in Minnesota. Joe Mixon gets released, then actually gets traded to Houston. So now he's a Texan. And Austin Eckler signs a relatively pretty cheap deal with Washington. Out of all of those names, who do you think is the biggest impact running back wise for their team?
Probably Eagles. Who knows? I don't know if the Eagles will still be strong. It sounds like it's not just they want revenge and go to a rival. They want to go to the playoffs. You know, they're tired of being on the bottom of the cellar in the basement. But I'd say the one for the Eagles, unless I missed another big name team. But we'll see. Maybe the Eagles will still be big. Jalen Hurts is very talented.
Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. I don't know.
The Cowboys will keep on losing. So I mean, it seems like that's the big trade right there. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to give it to the Eagles because they don't want a repeat of last year. And then, they got Pickett now. So who knows? He might carry them. You never know.
God, please.
I don't think he's going to, but hey.
Davo? I agree with you.
Yeah. No, I will agree. I mean, I will say Derrick Henry's a stud.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a little bit of an issue to deal with the Ravens. But yeah, no, I'd probably go with the Eagles.
So I'll give you 3. I'll just to kind of switch it up. I do agree with you guys. I think Saquon Barkley's going to tear it up. Saquon Barkley's playing with the Giants. The Giants have the worst offensive line, and now he's going to the Eagles. And even though they lost Jason Kelce, they have the 3rd best offensive line. So it could be very scary as to what Saquon can actually do for this team. But you are right. Jalen Hurts does run the ball, especially in short yardage. But that's when they had the tush push with Kelce, and he's no more. So we'll see if they continue to do that. But I think that's a good fit. Derrick Henry in Baltimore is going to be lethal. You're going to have to stack the box just to bring down that giant tree of a man. And then you have to worry about Lamar Jackson potentially pulling the ball back and sprinting to the other side of the field. It's going to be very tough for defenses to keep up on that. So I think that's a huge win for Baltimore. But they lost a lot of people, so we'll see. I think the other one too, no one talked about, Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon has quietly had some pretty successful years in Cincinnati. Over 1,000 yards rushing and multiple. Now he goes down to Houston. Houston's got something going. They got something
our
special.
defensive coach.
They
DeMarco
got
Ryans
Stroud come out.
Read all of them.
DeMarco Ryans, who keep in mind, DeMarco Ryans ties with San Francisco. What does San Francisco love to do? Run the ball. So now they got a legit running back with Joe Mixon, who still has some life on the tread for sure. Their receivers coming to life. Their offensive line's getting better. Their defense is stacked too. Houston's a team. Look out for it because Joe Mixon is going to be the bell cow of that team, and he's going to be probably a chip on his shoulder too. The way the Bengals kind of treated him and just let him go. So we'll see. But those are my top three for sure. All right, that was a lot of football. We talked a lot of football.
Yeah.
We have some
Hurts
issues
my heart.
going on the baseball side of things. And by the way, we'll keep it going. Football, we still got the draft coming up in a month or so. A lot of moves that are going to be happening here. So we'll let you know the next Steeler trade. Hopefully they get Justin Jefferson and we can come up here and I can just cry my eyes out in celebration as we get ready for our 7th Super Bowl. Yeah, or Debo Samuel gets traded to Pittsburgh. If that's the case, we're definitely gonna bring Blake into this on a live shot. But let's shift gears because there's some significant news for one of our teams, and I'll tell you right now, it's not the Angels.
Heartbroken.
Let's talk baseball. Let's talk Garrett Cole. David, what is the latest with your stud? How long is he going to be out? What's going on with that arm? And what the heck do you guys plan on doing to fix that?
Well, everybody knows that it was an issue with recovering between starts. This all stems from his March 1st training start. Recovery was weird. They shut him down. Had him go the old elbow check. Obviously everyone thought Tommy John. Got some partial tear.
MRI is not good.
Something. But it happened to just be inflammation in a pinched nerve. He was expected to be out 1 to 2 months for the MRI. Like that was the not so much the timeline, but like the overview going like, oh, this could, this is our general thought process on a partial. But with big question marks to say, oh, if the MRI did happen and it was completely torn and needed surgery, obviously that's gonna drag it out for the shut down for the year, come back next year. But he's only gonna be out 3 to 4 weeks. Or no, gonna be out, shut down for 3 to 4 weeks, and then ramp up, try to reload that arm. But it's literally just a pinched nerve inflammation.
So who's the stopgap? 3 to 4 weeks minimum. Yankees getting ready to start the season. Already off to a bad start.
I heard that Marcus Stroman denied the request to be the opening day starter, which is like, why would you deny that?
What a gentleman! What a gentleman!
The opening day starter.
I didn't know you got an option.
What?
One more time, Q.
I didn't know you had an option to do that.
I didn't either.
I was like, hey, you're the starter, go out there.
It's like why would you? It's like you just signed with the Yanks. It's like what?
Oh man,
nah, you can pick someone else. Like wait, what? we didn't even ask Rondon. Like we already knew what we were going to get. But no, nasty Nestor is going to be our opening day starter.
A mustache, baby.
Mustache-less.
Oh, he shaved?
I think so.
Oh, he's gonna suck then.
Yep.
You're not the Yankees, You're not a Giants,
no, I don't.
Weird.
Depending on the actual timeline for Cole to be out, I mean, it doesn't seem like. I mean, obviously, all of April, most of April, the shutdown. Still probably.
I say be patient with it. Just don't rush them back.
Well, yeah, no, obviously. I mean, it's not to be rushed back. It's his pitching elbow. So if like obviously something, even though it's good news, right? Good news is just a pinched nerve inflammation. It could during the ramp up to getting him back into season form, something could happen. I mean, like I said, it was inflammation and a pinched nerve, so maybe it gets inflamed again. Maybe something happens. What's causing the pinched nerve if it happens again? But obviously, it's a huge blow to our rotation. We already have a lot of question marks. with Nasty Nestor being the opening day starter, I feel like the Yankees view him as the number one temporarily right now, which is crazy. Um, Now the whole rotation has shifted. It's probably Nestor, Stroman, Rondon.
Does it really matter though? I don't think a rotation, like as far as your true number one, I don't think that really matters until the playoffs, right? Because once the
True.
season starts going, that rotation, it kind of just spot starts here and
True,
there.
but it's kind of like,
You know,
well,
with them.
now we have a rotation opening, and obviously the Yankees' standpoint on getting anybody via signing, obviously none of that's happened, so probably not
Let me
going to happen.
let me ask you this, because I know when it happened, obviously the biggest concern was for Yankee fans. Where do we go from here, right? And the big name that came out was Dylan Cease. I know they had some trade talks with Chicago. You guys
Oh
didn't
no,
want to
they
give
had
him
they had multiple trades sent to the
yeah,
Padres, waiting for them to snag on one.
correct. The big hold with the Yankees is you guys didn't want to give your Aaron Judge left-hander
Spencer
prospect.
Jones.
You
Dude's a,
didn't want to give him
dude's a
away
stud.
because you guys like hitting long bombs or striking out. So we kept him. Dylan Cease ended up getting traded to San Diego. We'll talk about that in just a second. If you're the Yankees, the only other name that I can think of as far as a starter who might be relatively available is Shane Bieber. Are you picking up the phone and calling Cleveland?
Um, I mean,
Or
in
his help,
terms
Gary?
of in terms of uh in terms of value between him and Cease, I feel like a trade going that way would be doable. But I mean, it's Brian Cashman.
How do you do that?
It's Brian
Keyball.
Cashman here.
Keyball raised a thumbs up. Keyball, would you do that trade or make that call?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, yeah, I'm hoping he's back because I love seeing Garrett Cole pitch, but it's better than going out and signing a Snell or a Montgomery
Well, hold
and
on.
they crap to bed maybe, and then you got to deal with that though.
There's still more time to make a trade if the Yankees were doing so, but I honestly think they're going to go in house and probably call up Clayton Beater to be that fifth, the stud pitcher that we got from the Dodgers for the Joey Gallo trade. Dude's been lights out this spring, and I think he's getting him a little, that MLB experience, especially with how good he's been spring training. Obviously, we got to see if that carries over to the regular season at all. But I feel like him getting a little bit of spotlight in the fifth role, not too much pressure, great in-house option for where Garrett Cole comes back. We don't have to lose any more pieces or trade pieces away. Don't have to mess with prospects or any of that. That's my general overview on it. Yes, Shane Bieber would be cool, but when Garrett Cole comes back,
Yeah, I think
that's
I think the Yankees definitely need to do something. And I say that because health has really not been on your guys' strong side of late. I think obviously the issues with Rodon we are already aware of. Hector Cortez has not been healthy, or Nestor Cortez. I'm sorry. Um, he hasn't been the healthiest guy over the last couple of years. So you already got some question marks in your depth going into it. That rookie might be nice, but he hasn't thrown a single pitch in the majors yet. And for you to put all your eggs in one basket, it's not really what the Yankees do. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm probably going out, making some calls, seeing who's out there, seeing who's available, and we'll see. We'll see. But one person they're not going to be getting is Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease was traded over to the San Diego Padres. I think a couple of the guys actually that came over from the Yankees in the Soto trade happened to be a part of that. Getting shipped over to the White Sox. So now the Padres finally decided to wake up this offseason. Now have a rotation headlined by Dylan Cease, Musgrove, and Yu Darvish. I'll ask you guys, and any one of you guys can go first here. Where does this move the needle, so to speak, when it comes to the NL West? Does this put them closer to the Dodgers? Does it even matter? Where do you guys see the Padres opening up camp here?
Well, yeah, it'll put them closer to the Dodgers, but my Giants will win the West by like 2 games.
My man. My man.
Sober as can be, predicting it right here. No, seriously, if my Giants have like an average season, that's going to make it much tougher overall against the Padres. The Padres have beaten the Dodgers before; they've done a great job at that. I think they're 1-1 in the playoffs first. Them. I think we got the Rockies in the bottom. But given that new rotation, and I'm hoping that D.O.S.P does really great against the Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers have a much better chance at winning the West, for real, winning the West. I don't want to get my hopes up, real talk, on both my teams, all my teams, overall. But I think they see what the Dodgers do, and obviously no one can compete with getting who, the Babe Ruth. But they see what the Giants do, and they know they got to make some moves, because if they don't, they'll be sinking closer to the Rockies before they know it. So I think it's at least a B plus type of grade for that trade. Maybe pushing an A minus. But it's like it's like we talked about. It don't matter what my Giants or the Padres or even the Rockies, if that even counts, does. It's so unfair in that division for what the Dodgers have, all this ridiculous amount of money that really just can't be compared to what any other team in baseball. So, I don't want to get my hopes up for my team. So I think this helps push the Padres for a darn good chance to win the West.
Okay. Q, what do you think? I forgot to mention Michael King as well. He'll be their fourth starter.
I personally, it's gonna be a hot take. I don't think it's gonna move the needle. I think it's still gonna go Dodgers, D-backs. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna give them that extra
Where was
push.
The D-backs? My bad.
D-backs?
No. I think they're one hit.
So I think it's great. Like, I wish he would have went to like the Yankees. I think that would have been interesting, but I don't think it's gonna move the needle further enough, especially with how the Dodgers are gonna end up. They're gonna start the season strong, and we'll see what happens.
Ava, let's say
I don't think this move. It obviously makes the Padres pitching staff better, because Dylan Cease he's not nobody. He was just with a really bad team, Chicago White Sox, so he had no run support for winning on average 50, 60 games a season. It's real here. Central's a joke. Now you move to the NL West. Do I think that this trade makes the Padres better than the D-backs to jump them? Possibly. I mean, it's
no. It's a yes or no. I say yes. Q-Ball said no. You got a yes or no?
Well, because it's hard to tell, right? Because the D-backs their success as of last year all stemmed off of young talent and young stars,
and momentum,
compared to Padres, who are not necessarily younger, but their rotation does have those Darvish, Musgrove, Michael King, Cease in there now. I mean, the rotation is, I would have to say, top 10 in the league. If they're all performing well, right? I mean, Cease posted a 4+ ERA last year with the White Sox. It's probably going to be lower with the Padres, because the Padres, they got Machado. They still have pieces, right? Have Tatis. They can still put up offense to give the Cease some backup. Because Cease is, when he's down right, he's a filthy pitcher. He can get it done. But I feel like if this is a better answer to that question, I feel like the Padres are now on the same playing field as the D-backs, but they still ain't touching the Dodgers. Sorry. This trade does not make the Padres NL West champion worthy.
I'm looking at the D-backs rotation, right? Because I've been saying D-backs, I can't dethrone them. They made the World Series. I give it to them the 2 seed until otherwise told. Right.
Right, but go ahead.
Look at their rotation. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez that they got from Detroit, big offseason acquisition, and Brandon Foddet, I think, is a rookie. So those are the four, and you compare them to the Cease, to the Darvish, to the Musgrave, and to the Michael King side of things. I'm starting to lean a little bit to the Padres. Offensively, they got Fernando Tatis for a full year. They got Machado. Like, bat-wise, they have the stars that I think the D-backs lack. But the D-backs got a lot of young talent, and I still can't dethrone them, but this makes it really close. I still got the Padres in third.
Oh yeah, it's close.
But it is like, I wouldn't be shocked if the Padres made a run for the NL West and they were pressing the Dodgers. I mean, Dylan Cease, pretty legit pitcher. Michael King, everyone forgot about that they got him from the Yankees. He's going to be a stud. If Darvish does his thing, Musgrave does his thing, this could be a dangerous team. I know they lost Soto, they lost Snell, but they're young. They're young. They got a lot of talent, and they have made trades in the past, in season, massive trades to get massive superstars. So I'm not counting them out. This makes them better for sure, but I'm still giving it to the D-backs 2, Padres 3, just on the sheer fact that I have to respect the D-backs.
Yeah, I do think that.
Well,
I want to add one more
I
thing.
do respect Arizona. I do. Hang on. I do respect Arizona. Like they earned it, and it's great that they were so successful. I just can't shake this feeling they're a one-hit wonder. But I mean, they beat my Giant. They go win the West. Arizona wins the West. Congrats to them, and I'll just be wrong.
I could be totally wrong, and
Well,
I'll tell you in like the first 2 or 3 weeks, like if the D-backs come out sleeping,
well, that's early, but yeah,
it's a one hit wonder, right? Like the Padres will give them a run, and we know what their starters are capable of doing, and we know that the Dodgers don't have Shohei Ohtani pitching this year, and they're going to be taking some lumps as well, but they're going to be scoring a lot of runs.
Oh no.
I think the Padres looked at the division and said, "Hey, we got Darvish and we got Musgrave, but we don't got anything after that." And they needed a Dylan Cease. They realized that in spring training, and they went out and they got it done. And that's how they operate. So if they got a hole, they're going to typically fix it during a trade, and they have a really good farm system and a lot of chips, and can continue to make moves. They can go get a Shane Bieber later if they wanted to. Throw him in there as the 4 or the 5, and now it really gets did. So we'll see. But I still got the D-backs ahead just for respect again.
Just to reiterate the rotation, they have Cease number 1, Darvish 2, Musgrove 3, King 4, and Johnny Brito 5. Johnny Brito was a part of that Soto trade. Johnny Brito was developing into something that was, I mean, he was, he's still a youngster. He's still got a lot to develop, but there were some starts against the Blue Jays where he completely iced them. So I don't know the pitching program in San Diego, but what I know that they got a better pitching program than the Yankees. So
we'll see. We'll see. We got to switch gears because we need a Montgomery and we need a Snell update. And I know from the Angel side, cue ball, big report came out from Ken Rosenthal the other day. Pretty much stated that both Perry Manassian, Ron Washington, Mike Trout, getting in Artie Moreno's ear, really pushing for a Snell trade, really pushing for a JD Martinez sign. I should say a Blake Snell sign, not trade. And a JD Martinez sign obviously would help the rotation tremendously. If I have to watch Anderson pitch one more time, I might poke my eyes out. But there's a lot of potential good depth there with Canyon and Silseth, so you add Snell there. We might have something. Put JD Martinez into the lineup, right? That's some additional pop. Artie's saying no. And it's frustrating a lot of people. What's happening?
Yeah, because it essentially came out saying they were pushing for Blake Snell, Montgomery. Even JD Martinez and Artie pretty much said, no, we're not doing that. He doesn't want to spend the money. And from a fan perspective, it's like, why? We haven't done anything in the offseason. We throw this team out there, they're not going to do anything. We all know that. And the consensus I'm seeing is it's the time for what happened with the Dodgers where they stopped showing up to games and the team got sold. I think that's what the position the fans are in now, where just don't show up to games, and Artie's going to see, hey, he screwed up, and he's going to either have to do something or sell the team. Because right now, every Angel fan does not like Artie. Snell wanted to play in Anaheim, but why not sign him? We have nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, if we sign him for 3 years and an opt out every year, like Chapman, that's fine. Like, we're not really losing anything. It's at least putting there for like, hey, I want to put a competitive team on the field, and then end of the season's off season, we can go and see what else we can grab as starters for more long term deal.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Q. I think it would have been a great deal to sign. I think this is kind of an exception. Instead of saying, "Oh well, let's just wait because next year's MLB draft and trade will be much bigger than this year," this is bigger than that. This is Artie Moreno again failing. I mean, failing with Ohtani, failing with you name it, left and right. Y'all know all the stats. I think that yeah, it was no risk. It was I just take a gamble on him, like you said, and Moreno failed again. And I think I still think the last straw was Ohtani, but at the end of the day, y'all need a new owner. It is just so sad. Like it's just like I'm not even criticizing you. I'm not even
we
judging.
need a
like
new owner,
it's
and we need a name change back to the Anaheim Angels or California Angels. Either are acceptable.
right. And it's in fact when I say that, it has nothing to do with okay, look at that loss. They could have done something, or Trout did something amazing, or Tony did something amazing, and then you lost by a run. It's not like that kind of sadness. It's like you're talking about an owner who's supposed to know how to manage a professional sport team. And it's one thing when, he's human, he has a bad year here or there, or a bad, it doesn't stop with him. Like, what, he put together something great about a decade ago, and that's it. In his entire tenure as owner.
That's the thing with Artie. All he cares about is selling tickets. That's why he got the Albert Pujols, the Josh Hamilton, the Anthony Reno, because it's going to sell tickets because bats are there every day, whereas a starter's there every 5 days. It's not going to sell as many tickets. And yes, Artie's been burned in the past, but it's happened. Like if you guys remember Matt Garza, long time ago, we were trying to go after him. Artie gave him a deal, and Matt Garza was like, "Hey, I'm on vacation. Let me finish my vacation, and then we can discuss after." And Artie pulled the trigger. He's like, "No, you're taking too long." I think even with situations like that, he needs to be out as the owner. This is where if we're not,
he's on
not selling
vacation.
tickets, he knows he's screwed up. Yeah, he was on vacation, and then Artie wanted to answer the moment the offer was sent. He's like, "I'm with my family."
Artie's a very hands-on.
But I think
he's a very hands-on,
and he needs to let his team do the work, not go after the bats.
Agreed.
Yes, it's selling the tickets, but you know what sells even more tickets? Winning games, going in the playoffs.
It's going to be an empty year at Angel Stadium. I can't wait for the cheers and the boos and the sell.
Like I would love to attend the game, but I don't think I can to support Artie. I'd rather him get rid of the team. He had an offer, could have taken it. We could have been California Angels by now.
I mean, honestly, you're probably looking at the lowest ticket sales in Angels history. Honestly.
Because that's the reason why we're
not in money, but
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim is Artie's mindset is sells more tickets. But now they're not going to sell tickets. I would be shocked if there's more filled seats than empty seats.
Yeah.
So does he sign Snell or no?
No, I think he's not going to sign anyone. Come off season, I think is probably going to be hearing rumors of him selling the team. Because if they don't sign anyone this upcoming off season, might as well trade Trout and rebuild.
I mean, this winter that far away? Yeah. Well,
because we're getting I think 10 starting pitching free agents. It's a really big class that's coming out. So they had a chance to get Snell, and then hey, if they do well, Snell's an access option. We get another starter. We're set. But Artie, I think at this point I don't know what he's doing now because it's like he's tanking the value of the team. Where if he were to sell, he's getting less than what he was offered.
Artie Moreno's delusional.
That's true. That's a big point. Go ahead, David.
We shall see, boys. I know it's coming up to opening day. I know we kick off soon. I think this week coming up out in Korea. We got the Pods and the Dodgers starting their series, and then they come back and play some more spring training games before they play their next game. So it's exciting stuff. I know we got those unsigned free agents. Hopefully they sign soon so we can put a nail in this coffin. But
I mean, there was the Astros that came out there as the mystery team with all the injuries they had, but the latest reports I've seen, they're nowhere close on the numbers.
No.
And it's like Snell wants to play for the Angels. Why not just sign him for an opt out. Like I don't
I
understand it,
wonder. I
but
wonder if that story is from Boris. He's trying to put some pressure on him, you know. Because if
that's
I'm
probably what it
Moreno and I'm seeing that
sounds like.
Houston might lock up another ace, like, to me, I'd sober up and give him what he wants as far as a 2-3 year deal with some opt outs and a high AVP. You know, this guy is making all the wrong moves lately, and might be time to let your GM do his job and stop being a hands-on owner and just collect the check at the end of the day. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah,
Hopefully,
he
we got
needs to
an
stop
update
being
next week.
hands-on
But
owner.
I've said that the last 4 episodes, so we'll we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And Trevor Bauer's still not signed. Again, conversation for a different day. But he looked pretty good in his 3-inning outing. He was actually telling minor leaguers for the Dodgers what pitch was coming in that last inning, and they still weren't doing anything with it. So he looked pretty good.
Wow.
Davo, let's put a bow on this.
Yeah.
You got some trivia? Try to stump the Schwab here.
Dude, I only got one question though.
What?
That's fine though. One question.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought you had a question
Okay.
for us.
All right.
Do the Yankees suck? Yes.
Question: who is the last player to lead either league in doubles in consecutive seasons?
Ooh.
You all do not.
in doubles.
Cool.
In
Don't
doubles. Hey, googling right now.
Who is the
You
last
guys can
player
hear that,
to
no?
lead either league in doubles in consecutive seasons?
I'm gonna
Dude,
take
I don't know.
guess. I'm gonna take a guess. I'm probably wrong. Freddie Freeman.
Mookie Betts.
You want me to say the division? Because
Mm,
there's no.
Okay.
The answer
AL
has
or
the
NL?
AL.
Is it really someone from the Rangers? Someone on the Rangers.
give me the division.
I don't
AL West.
know.
Son of a. Mike
I don't know.
Taylor Ward.
No. Come on.
Not a current player.
Not a current player.
Current-
Albert Pujols. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
I remember watching him like run at Angel Stadium, and it was just painful. I felt like I was at a retirement home.
You're gonna be shocked.
Oh,
You're
wow.
shocked.
West?
AL West.
AL West.
Okay. When's the last time they played?
Someone on the Seattle team? Yeah, Mariners?
Oh, God. Let me look. Hold on.
Jeez, I don't know any names.
Oh, that means it's been a while.
Ichiro?
No.
That would have been
Is
my
it
guess.
Ichiro?
He was so fast though; those doubles turned into triples.
Last season,
Oh wow, this is gonna give it to me.
2010.
Ooh.
AL West 2010.
Oh, no, that was his last season.
In
Sean
2010 AL
Figgins.
West?
But he wasn't in the AL West at that year?
Sean Figgins.
He was in the AL West until his last 2 seasons.
Was he fast? Was he fast? Is he made for his speed? 2010?
His last year.
My mind's blank.
This is physically hurting my brain.
Are we finally going to get stumped?
Jimmy Rollins?
Oh. I knew this was a hard one.
Carlos
this is hard.
What you're saying? The last time he played was in 2010, but he was from the AL West.
Was he fast? No, very low on stolen bases throughout his career.
Has the most doubles that year.
Griffey.
Consecutive years. I have no idea.
How much more longer you want on
My
this?
brain hurts from guessing.
Okay, give me the team.
Angels.
Garrett Anderson.
Yep.
Wow. I was gonna say that. I'm like, it's not Garrett Anderson.
Garrett Anderson tied for the lead in both 2002 and 2003.
That dude was a doubles machine.
He hit 59 doubles in 2002 and 56 doubles in 2002 and 49 in
that right field corner, he would always just right down the line. Or he had that lefty swing where it would hook right over
That
the
was a
first
tough
baseman
one.
and just end up in the corner.
I'm glad I
Yeah.
didn't add it.
That
I'm
was
glad I
tough.
didn't add an NFL question, dude.
I feel terrible because I should have. If you gave me like the dates and like the era, I probably would have got it.
He started his career. It was 94 to 2010. In his last two
Yeah.
seasons, 09 and 2010, he was with the Atlanta
The
Braves and the Dodgers.
Braves and the Dodgers. Yep, that's how I ended it. Dang. I'm gonna go watch some GA videos. He also won a home run derby. He beat out Albert Pujols.
That in like 2000.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2003, something like that.
2000 is when he had 35 homers.
He was a beast, and he didn't have any emotion. Like, he just had plain face, all business. Dude was a thug. I loved him. One of my favorite players. Oh, man. All right, boys. Well, this was fun.
Remember, nostalgia.
This was fun.
Yeah.
We all suck at trivia. And I don't even know my own baseball team. So I'm going to go home.
That was a
and
long time ago. I think
I'm
you
gonna
get a
go-
pass for that
I'm gonna
one.
go home.
After
You're
I
already
in the
home.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the closet, and I'm going to go cry it out. But, hey, exciting week. We covered a lot. Probably got a lot more coming up in the next episode. So
Yeah.
stay tuned to Down and Outs, guys, and we'll keep you
Right.
guys updated with all the newest trades and free agent signings across the leagues, and man, all the chaotic times it is right now. But we appreciate you guys listening. And until next episode, boys, we'll catch you later.
All right. It's been a pleasure. Have a good one.
Deuces.
Peace.